fathers doing the great job out there. So today, Cabana Whiskey is taking this time to raise a glass in celebration of every correct father out there keeping it going. Well, not too much, oh. And remember that when the going gets tough, it's okay to take a break and chill with a glass of Cabana Whiskey. Cabana Whiskey is made with the finest ingredients and is carefully stored in a classic bottle for that confident man or woman and can be enjoyed however, wherever, and whenever you want. Remember, Cabana Whiskey is absolutely compatible with other mixes, and this means you can enjoy it straight or mixed. It is your taste, your choice. Cabana Whiskey is registered with NAFDAC and available at Niger 1 and Niger 3 Trade Fair Complex, Lagos, Ojoye Market, Mushin, also Ofin Lane, Idumota, and all markets where good drinks are sold. All right. Don't forget, you can follow Cabana Whiskey on Instagram and Twitter at Cabana Whiskey, at Cabana Whiskey, and that's spelled at KUBANAHWHISKY. I'll take that once again. All right, KUBANAHWHISKY. You can send us your inquiries or keep up with all our activities and giveaways. Don't forget to enable notification on our Instagram page and anticipate a grand competition coming soon where you could be the winner of a big prize. Now, if you want to be a distributor, right? You want to be a distributor of Cabana Whiskey, all you have to do is dial this number I'm about to reel out to you. Are you ready? Okay, get your pens. 0803 722 9196. All right, I'll take that again. 0803 722 9198. Do not forget that Cabana Whiskey is for everyone, but not for pregnant women and persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly. And of course, we've got a carton of Cabana Whiskey to give away tonight. So hang in there. The FATG fan battle continues.
I wish we could give it away right now. The last time we were supposed to give one away, I don't remember. I think we got carried away.
All right.
And probably one of us carried it away.
That should be Tony. There's a reason why that should be Tony.
What you mean?
Chidebere, you can drink now.
What you mean? What you take me for? What you take me for?
Because you intend going to see someone's parents, so you need drinks like that. Yeah.
Okay, it's like, nobody said anything. Okay, so one carton of Cabana Whiskey to give away before we go into the second battle. How do we give it away? While we think of that, I haven't heard this in a long while. This was one of the contestants in the first fan battle of 2017-18. Well, he got kicked around a bit, but not without doing this for the gang. Interesting. It feels like merely strings and stuff like that. So let's hear it.
Femi and the gang on the AIC, giving you the fresh in the sport industry. Take you to the next on the MIC, giving you the rest of the news you missed with the best, taking you to the crest, make you skip on your breath, giving you all the bang, oh, with the best, you not go miss all the fresh, now you and me on the bench, you go carry radio to bed, oh, calm down, let me take you on a journey. Do you know when Rooney just called a hard trick? Do you know Nico Rosberg, the formula? One player just won the title. CR7, the boy is too serious. Current 5 goals in the game, adequate dangerous. Then no Messi, he's out of this world and the Morris of Curry just winning like free gifts. I'ma take you on a roller coaster, be on it ready. I'm taking over, you and your baby.
He probably didn't win any battle, but he did this, and again he engraved himself as an ex-officio member of the gang. Great guy, Dami D1. His career went up after that time. I haven't heard much from him recently, reminding me of Ayodeji, who also did a brilliant stuff for the gang. Excellent stuff. Okay, we're giving a carton of Cubana whiskey. I don't know how many is in the carton.
How many? Like 6? Yeah, I think it's 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, if you had actually stolen that last one, you would know. Okay, I suppose it will probably be more. However, it doesn't matter. Somebody wins one. Before we go into the next battle, who can tell us so there were 2 winners last night. 2 winners. If you can give us their names, just their first names. 2 winners from the fan battle last night. 2 winners from the fan battle last night. Who were the 2 winners? Maybe that will help.
Yeah, and all you have to do is send that answer to our WhatsApp line. I'm currently taking a look at it, all right? And first that pops the answer would get it. 0809-597-5805. That's our WhatsApp line.
You want to take that again?
0809-597-5805.
Okay, send the names of the 2 winners last night to us. The first person with the correct win. And if you could add who was adjudged the best of the 2 winners last night, we'll just throw you even further up there. Okay, so one Cubana.
Cubana whiskey. Yeah, for you.
All right. Okay. With that, we go into the second battle of the night as we're preparing for all things magnificent on the night. We're keeping our eyes peeled for that. As soon as it comes in, Tony has got it covered.
Right.
And I'm looking at it too to see who blows us away. Ready for the second battle of the night? Welcome back to Battle 2 of the night, 25th of the series. It pitches Kelvin Omachonu against Itunu Aziz. The issue at hand tonight, you'll hear in just a bit. A quick reminder, we're streaming live on Facebook, Nigeria Info 993. We're streaming live on the Nigeria Info YouTube channel, which you'll find embedded on our official Twitter handle. That's Nigeria Info, at Nigeria Info FM. You can follow through. We're streaming live on the Nigeria Info mobile app, and you can catch us there and ensure you do not miss a single thing. So take us everywhere you go, and we'll be there with you. We seem to have a number of entries which Tony will be looking at in just a bit as we go into this battle. Remember, you're going to have to vote via Twitter and via Facebook. There are 10 points for each of those portals, and then 20 via the phone calls. 60 points to the panel, shared evenly amongst Chidebere, Tony, and Sarafina. We'll come back to that in just a bit. So let's see, what is the topic for this battle tonight? Basic, simple. Is the Premier League the best league in Europe? Well, I wonder what is going on in your head right now. You probably have the answer off the bat. Is the Premier League the best league in Europe? I don't know what Itunu thinks in real life. I have no clue what Kelvin thinks in real life. But we took yes and no and put it in a blind raffle dip for these individuals to pick. Itunu picked yes. Kelvin picked no. They will defend those positions right now, whether they believe it or not. Let's give them the opportunity to open their argument. Starting with Kelvin. You are contestant number 1. You say no. The Premier League is not the best league in Europe. 1 minute, Kelvin, to open your argument. It starts now.
Well, a caterpillar aspires to grow very big, but then it can never ever be bigger than an elephant. And the Premier League is a very good league, but then it's not the best in the world. I take you to how the trophies have gone in the last few seasons. The Premier League pride themselves that they are the toughest league in Europe among the top 5 leagues. But then you look at how the trophies have gone in the last 5 seasons. In 4 of the last 5 seasons, Manchester City have claimed the last 4 of the last 5 Premier League titles. You also have to look at the fact that the likes of Syria and La Liga, 3 teams have shared the leagues in these two leagues. And also have to look at the fact that in Italy, 3 different teams have won the league in 3 different years. And also take you to the issue of officiating. At the last World Cup, there was no single Premier League referee in the World Cup. There was no single one. But you come here to tell me that the Premier League is the best league. And also, at the upcoming World Cup in Qatar, there will be no VAR referee from the Premier League. And you come here and you want to tell me that the Premier League is the best league in top 5 league. I mean, rest, please.
Opening comments already done. That was Kelvin. His opponent is Itunu. He is arguing that the Premier League is the best league in Europe. Again, their positions do not reflect what they believe. They are defending positions they picked blindly. So when you vote based on who impressed you more on the night. You've heard Kelvin. Now you get to hear Itunu. Itunu, you've got 1 minute to open your arguments. It starts now.
Good evening once again to the beautiful gang. I haven't come here to tell you anything about whether Premier League is the best, but I have come to educate you more. I'll break football eras into 4. The financial era, the pure talent era, the total football era, and the what? Entertainment era. Now, the Premier League stands tall above all the rest in these eras, with a whopping £13.1 million contributing to the British economy. You know it is not just football, it is about sustenance. With averaging 13.1 viewers across board in just a match like, for example, West Ham and Tottenham. That is half the population of Lagos State. You can do the statistics yourself. It was Liverpool and Manchester United. Producing the first Ballon d'Or winner in Stanley Matthews in 1957. You know that the Premier League also is a ground for harvesting raw talent. Well, dear friends, there are tussles which in the course of this conversation you will understand. The UEFA coefficient isn't just there. The Premier League isn't just sitting down there for 5 straight seasons. There is a reason. We'll be back and let's have fun.
It looks like we are going to have some fun tonight.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Oh, dear. Okay. Opening arguments, impressive. Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Femi,
thank you.
Femi, are you ready?
I feel like somebody will punch themselves.
Femi, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready for this one.
Okay.
I hope. But that was breathtaking start on the part of these 2 individuals. I'm ready to be educated. We are going to take a break. Let's drink water on top of this. And then when we come back, they go head to head, God helping. We'll need fire services, please stand by just in case they'll try to burn our studio. But I expect that it will be feisty. We'll try to keep it under control. But it looks like we'll have a robust debate. Right after we come back, it's Fan Battle Season 3. We are Femi and the gang. Tony's here. Sarafina is here. Chideberry is here. Let's do this in just a few minutes.
You could be 4 debates away from 1 million naira.
Good day, honorable judges, our ever attentive audience.
That's the majority of co-debater. We've crowned 3 I Beg to Differ debate champions.
My name is Tanvita Kaushik.
I'm Ruth Okocha. My name is Dawadiesa.
And if you want to be the 4th,
in fact, it even gives you a new global perspective.
The quest
Since 1998
begins
during the 2015 election.
now. The auditions for the next I Beg to Differ debate tournament are on. It's open to all secondary school students in Lagos aged between 12 and 16. Just go to www.nigeriainfo.fm and click on I Beg to Differ and follow the instructions. Auditions close 3 p.m. July 12th, 2022.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired.
It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not a
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at...
You could be 4 debates away from 1 million naira.
Good day, honorable judges, our ever attentive audience.
That's the moderator co-debater. We've crowned 3 I Beg to Differ debate champions.
My name is Sanvita Kaushik.
I'm Ruto Kocho. My name is Dawadiesa.
And if you want to be the 4th,
in fact, it even gives you a new global perspective.
The quest
Since 1998
begins
during the 2015 election.
now. The auditions for the next I Beg to Differ debate tournament are on. It's open to all secondary school students in Lagos, aged between 12 and 16. Just go to www.nigeriainfo.fm and click on I Beg to Differ and follow the instructions. Auditions close 3 p.m. July 12th, 2022.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those. Those that need to be fired are fired.
It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not a
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at
You could be 4 debates away from 1 million naira.
And register for the I Beg to Differ tournament. Choose any.
You could be 4 debates away from 1 million naira.
Good day, honorable judges, are ever attentive audience.
That's the moderator co-debater. We've crowned 3 I Beg to Differ debate champions.
My name is Sanvita Kaushik.
I'm Ruto Kocho. My name is Dawadiesa.
And if you want to be the 4th,
in fact, it even gives you a new global perspective.
The quest
Since 1998
begins
during the 2015 election.
now. The auditions for the next I Beg to Differ debate tournament are on. It's open to all secondary school students in Lagos, aged between 12 and 16. Just go to www.nigeriainfo.fm and click on I Beg to Differ and follow the instructions. Auditions close 3 p.m. July 12th, 2022.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when
You could be 4 debates away from 1 million naira.
Good day, honorable judges, are ever attentive.
Welcome back. Battle 26 in the series, Battle 2 for the night. It pits Kelvin up against Itunu. You heard their opening arguments. It's time to go head to head in the battle. We're streaming live on Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. You'll get to vote on the live stream itself. Just beneath the topic, you'll see their names, Kelvin and Itunu. Click on one to vote for that person. We're streaming live on YouTube. And you'd find that one embedded on our Twitter handled at Nigeria Info FM. Click on the link to view us on YouTube if you choose. If you cannot, view us on WhatsApp. What did I say WhatsApp? Facebook, I meant. And you get to vote also on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. There will be a poll. You cannot miss it. Is it Kelvin? Is it Itunu? Both of them Barcelona fans. Both of them trying to decide whether the Premier League is the best in Europe. Kelvin said no, it is not the best. Itunu said yes, it is. And in their introductory comments, they told us why they were so convinced. What will the 2 or so minutes of head-to-head battles throw up? We'll find out soon enough. We'll give them 1 minute to close their argument afterwards. It looks like it's a long night. When you vote, remember, forget about whether you think the Premier League is the best league in Europe or not. Concentrate on Kelvin and Itunu. Vote only for the one who impressed you more on the night, whether you agree with that one or not. If that is clear, and if I have the permissions of panel of judges and my colleagues, Tony, Sarafina, and Chidebere, we will proceed to the head-to-head. Are we good to go, gentlemen and lady?
Yes.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Kelvin, Itunu, are you guys ready?
Yes.
For 2 minutes, let the battle continue.
Well, I'm tempted to want to laugh in Spanish when you say that the first person to win the Ballon d'Or was from the Premier League. I mean, which league has produced the last 5 Ballon d'Or winners? Please tell me. Now, I'm also chill. Be a gentleman. Be a gentleman. Thank you. God bless you. Now, I'm going to tell you that the highest attendance in Spain for a La Liga game was the Clásico 32 years ago. 120,000 fans.
Beautiful.
When a game in England beats that, come and tell me.
I really wish this was Morning Crossfire. I would have given you answers to all your questions.
Well,
when we talk about football, we need to look at the greatest coaches of all time that have gone across different leagues.
Okay.
According to Jose Mourinho, he said, and I tell you, there is no league as tough as the Premier League. You don't come to the Premier League and score 125 points or 100 goals.
Wow.
That was
because
before
Calm
down. Calm down. This is great Jose Mourinho that has coached La Liga, Italian Serie A, and what? Chelsea in the Premiership. Okay, if you don't agree with Mourinho based on his aggression, what about Don Carlo Ancelotti? He said, and I quote once again, the English Premier League is the toughest league to win. Why? Unlike the Italian Serie A.
He scored 32 goals in his first season.
That is because Mohamed Salah is a genius. Have you forgotten Mohamed Salah won back-to-back African Player of the Year?
He was one of the best
players to do that if you don't play in the Premier League.
Hazard, one of your best players in the Premier League, went to La Liga. He is struggling till today.
What will you say about Cristiano Ronaldo? What will you say about Michael Owen? What will you say about Michael Owen?
What Michael Owen
do
at Real Madrid? What did he do?
David Beckham became the most expensive player at one time.
Forget most expensive player.
Bale was one of the most expensive players at one time.
Ousmane Dembele was bought for over 120 million pounds. What did he do at Barca?
What is his worth?
What did he do at Barca?
Ousmane Dembele's worth is how much today?
You are talking about money, and I'm telling you.
I have answered your question, but you haven't given me one single answer.
I'll give you an answer. You said that Michael Owen was one of the most expensive players moving to Real Madrid.
In 2015.
What did he do?
In 2015, who won the Champions League?
Dembele.
In 2015, who won the Champions League?
I don't know.
You won't know, but the world will never forget Leicester City.
Leicester City.
And the 8th wonder of the world. What happened?
What did they do?
What happened in 2015?
What did they do?
Leicester City came from the
That was a one-off.
It was a one-off which can never happen in any other league.
It can never happen in any other league.
That has done
Atletico Madrid, they won the league 2 seasons ago.
Atletico Madrid went to Champions League final back to back. Does that make them a little team?
That was a one-off. Leicester City was a one-off. See, okay, Remo Stars are looking to qualify. Remo Stars are looking to qualify for the Champions League. Does that make the professional league one of the best leagues in the world? Does that make the Nigerian professional league one of the best leagues in the world?
Wait, I'll give you time. If you are a businessman, one of the most important things is to satisfy all your customers without getting to every places. Do you know what they call the GMT? The Premier League is the only league that is well structured that no matter wherever you are, you can watch Premiership according to the same time as we do in Nigeria. Even if you are in California, calm down.
Do you know that the two richest teams in the world?
Will you get home 8 p.m. in the night and wait for a La Liga match that will start by 11 o'clock when you have to resume office by 6 a.m. in the morning?
I mean, we do it for love. I mean, you can't call yourself a football fan.
We do it for love. I know.
You can't call yourself a football fan.
We are both
Barcelona fans.
We are both Barcelona fans. But give me one La Liga match that you have waited 11 p.m. to watch.
Why wouldn't you watch?
Give me one.
I mean,
give me one.
when you see Valencia versus Real Betis playing, you know that is a feisty game.
Valencia, you're embarrassing me.
Am I embarrassing you?
Don't embarrass La Liga. Don't call Valencia.
Valencia are one of the best teams in La Liga. Valencia have a European trophy.
Who is the coach of Valencia?
Valencia have a European trophy.
Who is the coach of Valencia?
Who is the coach of Nottingham Forest? Who is the coach of Nottingham Forest? Who is the coach of Nottingham Forest now?
Antonio Conte has dominated any league he went to. He's the coach of Tottenham. What is his name again? In Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel has won the Champions League, dominating anywhere he went to. When he came to Real Madrid, what did Mourinho do when he came to Real Madrid? How many times did he win the league? He came to Premier League. Guardiola dominated it. He was too popular in people's eyes. That was the only thing he could do. Even after dominating Premier League, do you know what Pep Guardiola said?
Your Papa that you said is one of the best players to play in your Premier League.
Would like to hear you.
Salon Dior, doesn't have Ballon d'Or.
Kelvin.
When was the last time? When was the last time a Premier League player won the Ballon d'Or?
When was the last time a Premier League player won a Ballon d'Or?
I can tell you that the last time a Premier League player won Ballon d'Or, I did not have a girlfriend. I don't even want to go party. I don't want to go party.
Michael Owen has won it. Cristiano Ronaldo has won it.
Since when?
Cristiano Ronaldo has won it.
When? Tell me now.
You asked me how many players and I've given you all the answers. Isn't it? Isn't it?
When did you win it?
I've answered you.
The last time that won the Ballon d'Or,
you
which
won
country
it.
did he come from?
The person will win them today and the person will win them the day where they create
the player that is likely to win it now.
Calm down now.
The player that is likely to
will win them today will win them 5 times and the person will win them 1 time. Would the trophy be different?
What are you saying?
I'm asking a question. You are telling me about Ballon d'Or. Would the Ballon d'Or that they gave Stanley Matthew in 1957 be different from the one they gave Messi?
Are you kidding me?
I'm asking a question.
Are you even
if you tell me it's different, no problem. I will even vote for you.
Because he was the first person.
Tell me it is different and I will vote for you.
Because he was the first person to win the Ballon d'Or.
What are we
now
saying?
Wait, because he was the first person to win the Ballon d'Or.
What are we now saying?
That means the Premier League is the best.
What
if I tell you that in the last 20 years,
game would you prefer to watch?
15 players have come from the La Liga that won the Ballon d'Or. 15 players from the La Liga won the Ballon d'Or.
Normal. It is expected.
It's normal. It is expected.
Yes,
and you can come there and tell me that the Premier League is the best
everything. That's what you don't know. When the league give you entertainment, at the same time money,
which
at the same time trophy.
Can you watch Burnley versus Brentford? Can you watch Burnley versus Brentford? Say your top man. Don't be lying here because you're lying. Can you watch Burnley versus Brentford?
When they started my
conversation, can you watch Burnley versus Brentford? Answer me now, please. I'm begging you. I'm kneeling down. I'm begging you.
Only the Premier League.
Be a child of God. Answer me now, please.
We are both children of God. But on the streets of banter, I don't know you, my friend.
Mention 5.
It's as simple as that. Don't laugh. I'm telling you the reality.
Can you watch Burnley versus Brentford?
I'm not your friend.
Can you?
Forget about that. I broke my football for you. Can I watch
Burnley versus Brentford?
Do you hear what I said?
Can you mention
in
the
an
starting 11
average
of
Premier
Burnley?
League match?
Can you mention Burnley starting 11?
How many questions do you want me to answer?
Yeah, talk.
You have never answered my own. I've answered at least 5
now,
of your
talk
own.
now.
Don't beg.
You answer me well.
I'm here to teach you. Calm down.
You cannot teach me. You cannot teach me.
Did I answer or not? Or do you want to explain?
Ask me your question.
Which one did you want?
Ask me your question.
I told you just now that
Wow. I broke all the rules today. That battle went on for 6 minutes. 6 minutes. All right. And it didn't feel like 6 minutes, yeah?
Femi,
yeah.
Why did you bring this to people for?
I don't know. From the Zanga.
Perfect. Because this is what Zangas do.
This is like Zazu.
I tell you.
All right, guys. Okay. That could go on and on. It looks like a final before a final, huh?
Femi, if you know people, they argue for on the street.
Oh, for viewing center. They don't argue, tire.
They know the corners.
Oh, dear. All right, guys. It is not decision time because they have to close their arguments. I'll give you 1 minute each to close your arguments, and then it will be decision time. The lines are buzzing already. People want to. It's not time to vote yet. So, it's Kelvin who talked first versus Itunu who talked second in the opening. During the head-to-head, well, I hope you were able to distinguish them from each other. It was Kelvin, both of them Barcelona fan, who Kelvin is saying the Premier League is not the best in Europe. It's Itunu who is saying it is the best. And all those analogies. I'll give them this 1 minute each to close so that you can be able to identify the voice and put a name to it. We'll start with contestant 1 for the night, Kelvin or Machonu. And then we will go to Itunu Aziz. Kelvin, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. And please, no interruption, Mr. Itunu. Your 1 minute, Kelvin, starts now.
Well, if you want to know how good your child is, you cannot be keeping your child in your house and be giving an exam. Yeah, what is this? What is this? What is this? Then you see your child is the best. You take him to where other children are gathered. Now, the Premier League in Europe, what have they done? What have they done in the last 20 years? 10 of the last 20 UEFA Champions Leagues have gone to Spanish teams. Now, they now said, okay, you people cannot win Champions League. Okay, let us give you people Europa. Go and win Europa. Now, 12 of the Spanish teams have 12 Europa titles, while English teams have just 8. Now, we cannot forget how Villarreal disgraced Man United at 2 years ago. We cannot forget how Sevilla under Unai Emery then destroyed Liverpool 3-1 in the final. And you come here to tell me that the Premier League is the best league. Now, I'm also going to tell you that in the last 20 years, and like I told you before, 15 players, even the Serie A has more Ballon d'Ors than the Premier League. The Serie A has 3 Ballon d'Or winners, and you're telling me Premier League that has just 1 in the last 20 years. You're coming here to tell me no, please. The only award that the Premier League has is the Ballon d'Or and not the Ballon d'Or. Thank you.
It is done. Kelvin's argument is done and dusted. Yep, it's out of his hands now. He's done his best. And thank you for the acknowledgement. This has been a battle and a half, and yet it is not done. For the final comments, closing arguments of Itunu Aziz, I will reset the clock to a minute. Itunu, are you ready?
Definitely.
Go.
There is no league in the world that will give you everything you demand in football. But one thing is for sure, based on population, without discriminating any gender, even age, as long as talking football is concerned. No one would remember who won the Champions League in 2015, just like you couldn't answer. But they will never forget what Leicester did, rising from its ruins. People may forget who won the Ballon d'Or in 2019, but they will never forget the annihilation of Crystal Palace by Liverpool with 7-2. My dear friend, it is understandable that 70% of Nigerians today, when you ask them all these simple questions, they won't remember. But on the streets of banter, like I tell you, you and I won't stand discussing who won what and when, but we will always remember the heavy score lines, even the comedic commentaries and refereeing by the referee that you just mentioned now. Most importantly, how they made us feel. These are the things we will take forever to wherever we go in the afterlife. And I end my conversation this night reminding you one thing. Just like Maximus has said in the movie Gladiator. Kelvin, are you not entertained? This is the majestic of the Premier League. Thank you.
And hence, we rest our case. It is time to decide. And I'm beginning to suspect this will be one of the hardest battles to officiate so far. So what will it be? Have you voted yet on Facebook and Twitter? Or are you still trying to make up your mind? I understand. I'm sure the panel are actually still trying to make up their mind. We will see how that goes. First, we'll go to the phone lines. If we can find a maximum of 7 people who have made up their minds already, and that will be for 20% percentage points. The other 20 is on Facebook and Twitter, split 10-10. 60 of those points are in the hands of these thoroughly entertained jury members here. Tony, Sarafina, and Chidebere, and I'm just assuming they're thoroughly entertained. Maybe they're not. We will know in time. So to the phone lines we go. Twitter handle at Nigeria Info FM. Go and vote. Facebook page Nigeria Info 99.3. Go and vote. We are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, on the mobile Nigeria Info mobile app. We're streaming live everywhere. You cannot miss it. 0700 993 993 993. That's the general line. The special line for ladies only 01465 7190. 014657190. Tony, who votes first on the night? No, they are not ready. Hi there. Good evening to you.
Hi, good evening.
Welcome. How are you today?
Yeah, this is Pekuya calling back.
Welcome.
Now,
Pekuya.
this is what we call a fan battle. I was entertained. I was impressed. In fact, the way I was laughing, but my vote goes to Kelvin. Thank you.
Thank you, Peculiar. Kelvin takes the first vote.
Femi and the gang.
How are you, my brother?
I am very, very, very fine. This is Mr. Frank from Odo Alaba.
Welcome, my brother.
This is fan battle. Fan battle. I confirm this. Are you getting it? But I don't know who will go first in your soldiers in the house today. I will list. I want to give it to Itunu so that it will be 1-1.
Okay, 1-1. Even the voters are now partisan. Interesting. Hi there, talk to me.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
This is fine. This is Tracy calling from the country.
Welcome.
Wow.
You had the battle.
Wow.
How do you vote?
The battle was really fun. It was really fun. Both of them, they really tried. In fact, I'm so confused. But I'll give it to you to know why. Because I like the way the opening and his closing remark. I like it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Itunu leads 2-1. Hi there.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening and welcome. Let's meet you.
Yeah, this is Mr. Ernest calling from Ikeja.
Mr. Ernest from Ikeja.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I want to give my vote to Mr. Kevin. He tried very well. Most of them actually tried, but I'm giving it to Kevin.
Kelvin takes your vote. Thank you. 4 votes now, 2-2 between them. This is vote number 5.
The first set of people came with boxing gloves. These ones now, they want to finish me with. So I think that this is your male voice friend, Adeshewa from the crew.
Adeshewa, it's been a while. Welcome.
It's been a while. So my vote goes to Itunu. I'm really impressed.
Itunu takes your vote and he leads 3-2. Thank you, Adeshewa. Appreciate it.
Word.
Yes, you are voter number 6.
I'm literally jumping on my feet.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm excited. I'm happy. This is what I've been looking for. If you see their facial expression, I was watching them on YouTube. I was so happy. Oh God, their laughter, their expression, they were just going at each other. Oh my God.
Who won it for you?
Itunu.
Itunu takes it. Itunu takes it. Thank you very much. We had to stay with you. We couldn't douse your excitement. Yeah. Okay. You are our 7th voter. We already have 6. We'll have a decision, but let's hear you.
If I were in Kevin shoot, there are many points to very, very many points. You can see that, like, England have 14 UCS titles, and Real Madrid have won 14 UCS titles. Messi has scored all the top 10 goals. I will go for
Itunu will take your vote. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. Gentlemen, that was something. It deserves yet another round of applause. And that applause is shared by our voters. We took 7. 6 had sufficed. At 6 votes, Itunu was leading by 4-2. The 7th also went into Itunu's way, which will make it 5-2, but it doesn't really matter. Itunu, congratulations. You win the first 20 points. But that is only 20% of the job. There are 80 points left here. Social media is voting. Have you voted yet? Go right now at Nigeria Info FM and click. You'll see the tweet at the top. Click for either Kelvin or Itunu. 15 minutes are left, and it is one of the closest voting voting patterns I've seen at this point. So go and make your voices heard at Nigeria Info FM. Is it Kelvin? Is it Itunu? We have way over 100 votes already. Let's see how it goes. Also on Facebook, on the official live stream, Nigeria Info 99.3, you will see the live stream. You will see the topic at the bottom, just by the chyron there. And beneath the topic, you will see their names, Kelvin and Itunu. You only need to click on one name to vote for that name. I don't know how this is going to go, but maybe for once, maybe Twitter and Facebook will be split. Who knows?
Yeah, I feel so.
Let's see how it goes. Panel, judges, friends, gentlemen, lady, it's now time to vote.
Femi, can we have both of them, please?
Maybe after we vote.
Because it was indeed this. Okay, we need to go in for that break now?
Yeah, we are a minute away from a break.
Okay, so no need for me to give my long analysis. It was a very, very entertaining one. But I think I would have to stick with the young man talking about Itunu. The closing credits was it for me, giving us that Shakespeare kind of vibes, you know. And he said, "Are you not entertained?" That's it for me.
So he takes Sarafina's vote and he leads 40 to nothing at this point. There are still 60 points to vote for. Itunu only needs one more panelist, and it will be over. It will be interesting to see how this develops. We'll take a break first before we go to Chidebere, who dragged the mic and decided he was going to go this time. When we come back, we'll hear from Chidebere and, of course, Tony right after this time out.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on...
You could be 4 debates away from 1 million naira.
Good day, honorable judges, or ever attentive audience.
That's the majority of co-debater. We've crowned 3 I Beg to Differ debate champions.
My name is Sanvita Kaushik.
I'm Ruto Kocho. My name is Babaji Esa.
And if you want to be the 4th,
in fact, it even gives you a new global perspective.
The West
Since 1998
begins
during the 2015 elections.
now. The auditions for the next I Beg to Differ debate tournament are on. It's open to all secondary school students in Lagos aged between 12 and 16. Just go to www.nigeriainfo.fm and click on I Beg to Differ and follow the instructions. Auditions close 3 p.m. July 12th, 2022.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those. Those that need to be fired are fired.
It's looking like the brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not sure.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at...
You could could be 4 debates away from 1 million naira.
Good day, honorable judges, our ever attentive audience.
That's the majority of co-debater.
We've crowned 3 I Beg to Differ debate champions.
My name is Tanvita Kaushik.
I'm Ruth Okocha. My name is Belajesa.
And if you want to be the 4th,
In fact, it even gives you a new global perspective.
the quest
Since 1998,
begins
during the 2015 election.
now. The auditions for the next I Beg to Differ debate tournament are on. It's open to all secondary school students in Lagos, aged between 12 and 16. Just go to www.nigeriainfo.fm and click on I Beg to Differ and follow the instructions. Auditions close 3 p.m. July 12th, 2022.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired.
It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube.
You could be 4 debates away from 1 million naira.
Good day, honorable judges, our ever attentive.
be 4 debates away from 1 million naira.
Good day, honorable judges, or ever attentive audience.
That's the majority of co-debater.
We've crowned 3 I Beg to Differ debate champions.
My name is Tanvita Kaushik.
I'm going to coach you my name Bella.
Nah, touch up the dial, cause if you touch up the dial, no, say, more. Fire go blaze, you see me, I say. Anyways, testing the microphone, don't know my name, big clean, stay clean, pick a dancehall papa boy when I travel.
You could be 4 debates away from 1 million naira.
Good day, honorable judges, or ever attentive audience.
That's the majority of co-debater.
We've crowned 3 I Beg to Differ debate champions.
My name is Tanvita Kaushik.
I'm going to coach you my name Bella.
And if you want to be the 4th,
in fact, it even gives you a new global perspective.
Final leg of Battle Night 13. The 25th and 26th Battle of 47. Much distance still to cover. It goes all the way to the 20th now. Yes, the promotion says 15th. It's been extended to the 20th. We'll let you know more about that in the days ahead. And you can be a part of it, whether you are in big business or small business. And you just want to use, give some of what you do, your services, your goods, to some of these contestants. You are welcome to bring and be a part of it. Be supporters and proud sponsors of Fan Battle Season 3. Prize monies, additions and all of that are welcome. So are your products and services. And if there is anybody you've seen so far in the battle that you would like to pick for ambassadorial reasons, branding reasons, feel free to get across and we'll see that through. Okay. Just before we went on that break, Sarafina gave her verdict. It was an abridged verdict in view of the time. And that took Itunu to 40 percentage points. Claire, Kelvin, yet to get any. The Voice and Chidebere have not voted yet, meaning we still have 40 votes on the panel and 20 on social media. Let's go to you, gentlemen, Chidebere, and of course, Tony. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first for me.
Go ahead.
Well, it just keeps getting better, right? I remember myself some days ago saying this was my best battle, especially when the last guy who made me fall down. I'm just surprised that clip is not on social media yet. But this one was strong. One of the best battles of Fan Battle. I'm sure tomorrow we'll have another battle that's even better. But this one was solid. Itunu brought the fire, Kelvin brought the fire, and they met halfway. So it's a thing of thin margins. Very very close margins separating them. I like the fact that Itunu, he said a lot of really nice things, and he dropped some really good lines as well. Kelvin as well, talking about the Ballon d'Or coming from places like Spain and other places. Close one.
Close your eyes and vote.
I'm going to give my vote to Kelvin, and not for any particular reason, just so that they can be a bit of competition. Because both of them are on the same. I can't say one outdid the other. Though I would state that Kelvin could do more by not trying to copy. I tried to copy the other guys who used the Salon d'Or thing. I mean, I'm not sure that word really existed until that guy.
I think it's more of a slang right now.
It's a slang. It's actually
street slang.
I've even seen an article
on Salon d'Or.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Maybe I didn't know about, but he used it, and he used it like twice.
Even the guy who used it, I had posted in one of the groups that he posted an article and said I didn't make it top. See, there's
okay.
an article about Pogba that calls him Salondo.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I was thinking maybe perhaps it was something he took away from the other guy. I've forgotten his name now. But yes, like I said, I'm not giving my vote to Kelvin because he's better than Itunu, to be honest. I'm just giving it to him because both of them, the effort, they gave great effort. I can't start picking. I think they had a perfect argument, so I don't want to start picking and say they could have done this better or done that. I thought I'm not sure they could have done any, but maybe if you go down to the little lines, you can now say this. But I really don't want to go down to the little lines because of his efforts, and so far he's not gotten any points. I think that's not fair. Now, being very sentimental now, and I'm saying,
which is allowed. Yeah,
which is allowed. And I'm saying I'll give Kelvin the points. I'll make it go down the wire. Itunu has 40. I'll give Kelvin 20 because I thought they were head on head, neck on neck, right through it all. And yes, though I've forgotten. I'm trying to remember some of the things Itunu said, which were very catchy. He talked about Leicester City. I think when he mentioned Leicester City the first time he mentioned Leicester, Kelvin was a bit shaken. He didn't know how to because he gave him Leicester City and he didn't know how to defend that.
Yeah, that's when he asked him who won the Champions League in 2015. And the guy said, I don't know. Whether he doesn't know or... But you remember I'm not going to play your game and answer your question. And it worked for him. Yeah. Oh, you won't know.
But you remember Leicester. Yeah. Okay. And, he had some really great points. On the normal day, I'll give it to Itunu. But like I said, I'll give it to Kelvin because I appreciate the efforts. I feel that he brought the fight as well, just as much as Itunu brought. But maybe when you go down to the fine margins, you can now say perhaps Itunu was a bit ahead. But for the sake of Kelvin's effort, both of them brought equal amount of effort. I'll give it to Kelvin just to move forward.
All right. Now, maybe I'll break precedent now. Tony, do you vote or do we go to social media first? It's 40-20, Itunu leading. I know you are in yes, Itunu leading against Kelvin. I know you are in a quandary now. Have you made up your mind as to who you want to vote for?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Let's take a look at what social media is saying.
Okay. So, Twitter with almost 300 votes.
That's a record, by the way.
Yeah. And you're going to put yourself under more pressure by the time we're done with social media. And everything will now rest on your shoulders. Are you ready to go?
Like Merlin.
Like Merlin.
That's a good addition.
And Arthur doesn't mind. So, do you want to go to social media first? Or you want to vote first?
Social media.
Okay. Let's go to Twitter.
Right.
Votes final.
Well, the results are Don and Kelvin. Well, Kelvin sweeps Twitter with 55.2%.
More like edges.
Edges.
That's close.
Pardon. To Itunu's 44.8%. As a matter of fact, Itunu was leading until the final few seconds.
Yeah.
And Kelvin,
I saw that.
It was crazy.
Yes, it was crazy. Itunu maintained that lead for a long time. It was slight, but it was there. I have no idea when it changed.
And safe to say that Twitter is a very good habitat for Kelvin because he's very active on that platform.
But so is Itunu Solis. I think so. Itunu Solis, eh? I think you are active on social media too. I follow both.
Twitter?
On Twitter, yes.
When I publish it.
Only when you publish articles. Okay, I know I follow both of them. Okay.
Interesting. Okay, so let's move to Facebook.
So that is 40-30 as we speak. 40-30. 40-30. And now we go to Facebook.
And now we do. Well, on Facebook, we have the results ready. Well, Itunu garnered 72% of the vote.
Sarafina, we preempted it. We saw it coming.
Yeah.
For the first time, Facebook is breaking with with Twitter.
Because
usually they always
you
go to
cannot call.
It's a
You cannot
divorce.
call.
Ah,
You don't know.
It's a divorce.
I would have been surprised if both platforms
had
agreed.
gone the
Yes,
same thing.
I would have been surprised because this is the sort of battle where I think might just give this person because you don't even know.
Interesting. And what that means is that Itunu leads 50 to 30.
Yeah.
50 to 30. Tony. Even Tony cannot.
Now he put himself on this one.
He can.
He can.
It depends on what
It
he's
depends. Okay. All right.
So
Tony.
Femi, it could be down to you. Just for the record.
No, don't make it down to me.
It could be. I'm just saying.
Decide what you wanted to
Yeah.
decide before we went to social media.
Yeah.
I know you. I knew you had made up your mind.
Yeah.
Don't change it.
No, Femi, don't say that. I like to vote is voting.
I'm under pressure.
I like to vote.
I'm under pressure.
Femi said don't change your mind. Are you in his mind?
You're putting me under pressure.
Femi, are you in his mind? How can you tell what is in his mind?
Please, I want some air. Please.
Okay, do whatever you like.
Can everybody leave the studio, please?
Now you tell the show.
Anyways, well, let's get down to business. Well, Femi, this is a classical, really, of battles, of a battle now, particularly, and this is why the FATG fan battle keeps getting better. Kelvin started really strong. I loved his sayings, really original. You know, the both of them basically had the aesthetics of a good argument, the quotes, you know, the allusions. Itunu, just to correct something, when you started, you said, I am not here to convince you that the Premier League is the best, but I'm here to educate you. Please never make that kind of mistake again. That was your premise. It was your premise. In argument, you can't joke with your premise. Now, it was obviously a mistake, probably, you know, the pressure. You are here to tell us the Premier League is the best. So it has to be your first premise. So it was a mix-up from you, a big blow for you. But you went on into the argument, you grew, you talked about the Premier League, you compartmentalized football, and you established the fact that for every of this department, the Premier League has done enough to be better than others.
Before you go on, I was just going to say that, I caught that too when he said it. My impression at the time was that he was fixated on his opponent and not the audience, not on the judges. You see, and again, he knows what he had in mind. I thought he was looking at Kelvin and saying, Kelvin, look, I'm not here to convince you. I'm just going to educate you. And because he said educate you, I know he wasn't trying to educate the audience or the judges. So, but even then, as you said, semantics and, of course, perception.
Absolutely.
You picked that, and that was brilliant. You did, because I noted it too.
All right. Well, you talked about viewership. You talked about the Ballon d'Or winner, the first coming from the English Premier League. You talked about UEFA coefficients. I felt you could have done more with UEFA coefficients. As we stand, by the ratings, the coefficients, the Premier League is topping at the moment. I felt you should have come into this argument to say, listen, there is no argument. The guys who drink and eat football have done the maths, and they've given us a stand already. I thought you could have really dug deep into the UEFA coefficients, which takes a lot of symmetrics and indices to bring together. Well, you didn't do that enough, but you did good enough.
He did mention that they've led for like 5 years now, but and again, the argument could be during the 5-year period where Real Madrid have won 3 or 4 titles, but the Premier League have still been there at the top. So you are right. I mean, he should have done a lot more with that.
And well, for Kelvin, I really like the rebuttals where he came up with the classical views. That's a no-brainer. You know, no Premier League game have got more views. It's the most viewed football game club now in the world. The classical. That was brilliant from you, Kelvin. That was brilliant. You went about with more Ballon d'Ors. I love the fact that you roped it 20 years. In the last 20 years, the Premier League, you know, yet to win more than half of European Cups, the Champions League, the Europa League. I love the fact that you also mentioned Ballon d'Or winners. I love the fact that you asked him when was the last time a player in the Premier League, you know, won the Ballon d'Or. His rebuttal also was decent, talking about, oh, you winning it the first time back in the 50s and now it's still the same. But in terms of the regularity, there have been more, winners of the Ballon d'Or away from the Premier League. You even talked about the Serie A having more than the Premier League. That was also another brilliant point. You made a mistake. You said Salah scored 32 goals in his first season. Did he? He didn't. As a matter of fact, Salah struggled in the Premier League after making that loan move from Basel.
It could be that he was referring to when he joined Liverpool. I think he was referring to Liverpool.
He said in his first season in the Premier League, he didn't score 32 goals in his first season. He actually struggled. Caught up much later after that move to Liverpool. So just to correct that. But yet again, just like we saw in the first battle, you know, it's like a game. It's like boxing. It's like a sport. Somebody has to lead and somebody is attacking. The other person is defending. In this argument, Itunu led the charge. He was very commanding. I really loved his composure, you know, the way he used words and all of that. Kelvin was... Now, it's important to note that depending on how you look at it, this argument may slightly tilt in favor of Itunu, given that at the moment, the Premier League is where everybody wants to be. It has the most elitist manager in the game. So you could say on the balance, he's got a bit more balance by the virtue of the argument. But I really love the fact that Kelvin dug deep, told us about stats, told us about records, told us about titles, and all of that. That was good. Good ending for both of them. I can't say any did better than the other in their final takes. Unfortunately, none of them really talked about the quality of football. I didn't hear anybody talk about that.
Yep.
The quality.
And that should have been an advantage, Kelvin.
Nobody talked about that. The quality of football. Nobody talked about the commentaries.
I think Itunu tried mentioning the commentaries towards the end of that.
Where he said, "Are you not entertained?"
Even the commentaries.
I was actually, you know, what could have also won this for Itunu was talk about that Aguero commentary. Aguero.
The commentaries, the branding.
Yeah.
He talked about a bit about the branding, but you know, listen, it's an argument. You can't say everything. I think it's important that we note that. There's some things you will leave out and all of that. But, Femi, I don't think they are losers tonight. Nah. None of these guys have lost or will lose. It'll just be a case of one having to go forth. Well, because, the competition is tailored to always have one person in front after every battle. And I will go from the bottom of my heart. I will go Kelvin.
Wait, so all this thing where you talk finish?
You 6 hours.
All these things.
6 hours.
You still put us for here.
6 hours.
Mr. Femi, this boy should be suspended.
Agricultural analysis.
And I recommend it. Because all of these things, you still put us here. My God.
Femi is down to you now.
Tony, you did this on purpose.
I didn't.
Boss, this boy is a Miloko.
I didn't.
All right. Okay, so it's 50-50.
Yeah.
50-50 split. If any battle in Fan Battle Season 3 was deserving to be split 50-50, it had to be this one. You know, it essentially had everything. Is it perfect? There will probably never be the perfect battle or perfect debate, but it had everything what a neutral will want to see. So I'd like once again to applaud both individuals, Kelvin and Itunu. You guys have done tremendously well. And it's fitting that it's close to call. You guys also broke social media for the first time, splitting the votes on social media. It hasn't happened. It'll be interesting. Now I have to make a decision, and it's a tough decision. I will make it based on one criteria, on the majority carrying the vote, because I am torn between the two individuals. I love them both. I want to hear them both, and tonight it was a battle worthy of a final. I gave 6 minutes to that battle. I have never gone beyond 5 minutes in any season of fan battle ever. Before I go into that, I'll read some of the comments. Getting the contestants to say so much will be possible only if they are given more time. I feel Femi talks a lot more than even the contestants. And I think he also preempts the judges and voters while trying to explain how the decisions swing. For a program that lasts 2 hours plus, contestants only get to speak for 12 to 15 minutes max. There may be a need to give more time, especially in the head-to-head segment. I always enjoy the analysis of the in-house judges. Great job, people. That's KK from Yaba. KK, thank you very much for that. And we've noted some of the things you've pointed out. In the knockout stages, for instance, the head-to-head will be 5 minutes. The head-to-head was reduced from 5 minutes in season 1 to 2 minutes in season 2 by audience requests. Because when it was 5 minutes, a lot of time it was just 5 minutes of noise. Most of the time, noise. And sometimes it wasn't enjoyable and too many people complained. We reduced it to 2. And if you notice, most times, almost every time, I add an additional 1 minute minimum to it, especially if the debate is worthy of it. For this season, we had decided we'd start with 2 minutes and add to it, if possible, and the knockout stages go the full 5 minutes, including increasing the number of phone voters in the knockout stages. So I just wanted to put that there. But you do have a point. We need to hear them more. But our conversations are in boxes of 25 odd minutes each per hour. And there are so many indices, plus ads, plus the fact that a lot of people want to do other things. And it's not just them talking. If we do not introduce them to you properly, you probably won't know who is who. We go to great lengths to describe these individuals, even have conversations with them so that you know them more. That way, you get to know them, their names stick more in their head. If they are just going head to head and we give them to shout at each other for 30 minutes, you won't even remember their names, which is why I have to paint those pictures. I hope my explanation suffices. I like that. Now, and just to buttress what I just said, here's another message just coming in now, 9:55. I suggest the head-to-head should be scrapped, or none of them should shout over each other. Please, let's one keep quiet and allow the other person talk. That's Emmanuel from Lekki. So again, to our the last guy
from Yaba.
From Yaba, you understand where we are coming from. We are cutting down the time to avoid people. Radio is not like TV. There's an argument on TV. You can see the people, body language. It's easier for you to manage. On radio, you just hear noise. It's not great if you are not following. If you just stumble on the station and two people are shouting at each other, your first reaction will be to tune off. So, which is why we decided to limit it. But the head-to-head format is one that stands out the fan battle from every other debate. It's also the nature of football. Very argumentative. It's organic. It's the way it is. Okay? We'll see it. Yes. And the rest of it are people preferring one person. And somebody said, hello, Mr. Femi, good evening. Please, how did these two guys get to meet at this stage? Because really, I don't want to lose any of them at this stage. That's Johnson from Satellite Town. Please keep on doing the good work, Femi and the gang. I'm really entertained. Thank you very much. So that said, it's time for me to vote. It's 3 minutes to the hour. And I will vote, like I said, based on popular decision. Reason being that it was split, and understandably so. But I noted something. During the calls, we took 7 calls. Itunu won 5 of the 7. On social media, Kelvin took Twitter. And I'd like to see the percentage points again. 55 to 44. 55 to 40. 55.2 to 44.8. Close. Facebook. Itunu took Facebook by a wider margin. 72 to 28%. And when we came to the panel, Sarafina went for Itunu. Chidebere and The Voice went for Kelvin to even the scores. But I'm going to take my reference will be Chidebere saying, I'm not voting because I feel one is better. I am voting to even the scores. So I will then nullify Chidebere's vote, because I'm not nullifying it that it doesn't count, it counts. But I'm going to give, because he didn't make his mind based on a determination that one person was better than the other. It was based on him, let's even it, because at that time Itunu was leading by 40 to 20. So I would say Sarafina went to Itunu because she believed Itunu had something. She made her mind to go for Itunu, even when Itunu was leading by 20 at the time. Tony sounded like he was going to Itunu, and then he went to Kelvin, and I would leave it at that. I would say the panel is split. I will leave it at that. And split between Sarafina and Tony. And while Chidebere voted for Kelvin, he could have gone either way. So by virtue of that, and it's hard for me to do this, but I must do it. I personally, as Femi, will not. I will struggle to hand it one way or the other to either guys. So I would just stay above board and let the audience be the determination, because the audience gave it to Itunu via phone call, and because on social media, Twitter gave it to Itunu by a margin that was greater than the margin by which Twitter gave it to Kelvin. I will go for Itunu on the night. I will go for Itunu on the night as having won this battle. But make no mistake, it's not to belittle what Kelvin did. Both of you guys were awesome, and I thought you brought the fire. Kelvin was the first speaker, and he went straight out of the box, and he meant business all the way. I wouldn't want it to seem like he's fallen short. No, Kelvin hasn't fallen short. He's been impressive so far. Kelvin, remind me, what was your last battle like?
So it was against Lima.
Lima.
Yes.
How did that end?
She won 60-40.
60-40.
Yes.
Another close one.
Yes, she won via social media.
Via social media. Itunu, how did your first battle go?
It was with Nenye.
And how did it end?
I won. The judges voted for me, but she won social media.
Yes. Okay.
I think it was 80-20.
Yeah. So you got the judges' vote on that occasion.
Of course.
Yes. I would say congratulations to you, Itunu. This is the first in this series that I'm having to split. It ended 50-50. I am going slightly in your favor because I'm voting on the side of the audience tonight. I may not always vote that way, but that's how I choose to vote on this night because, again, there was just so much quality that both of you brought into the conversation. It was hard for me to decide one way or the other. So congratulations. How do you feel?
Mr. Faye, I don't even know what to say right now. I wasn't expecting this kind of
you didn't think he will come at you like this?
I'm not. In fact, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Nobody loses this battle.
Yeah.
He deserves it as well as I do.
I like your spirit of sportsmanship, Kelvin. Well, again, I don't feel like you lost, and I don't want you to feel like you lost. Tell me how you're feeling, though.
I'm disappointed. But yes, I'll take the lessons because I made a few mistakes. There were points that I wrote out or I omitted. My strong points that I should have said, but then hopefully I get the chance to redeem myself.
All right. So congratulations to you, Itunu. Applause are in order. You go straight to the round of 16. And at this time, judges, we have to make a decision for who tops tonight's battle between Itunu in the second battle and, of course, Shegun in the first.
Itunu.
That's one-way traffic, surely.
So, Itunu, you not only win the night, you go as top of the pile in round 2's battle. So congratulations once again. I think you deserve the applause you got. You will go up against one of the losing finalists, depending on how it goes. All right? Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate the judges for their vote.
All right. Beautiful. For Kelvin, however, it's decision time. Between Kelvin and, of course, Benjamin. One of these two individuals would have to leave the battle tonight. Gentlemen, ladies, your call.
Kelvin stays.
Kelvin's got to stay.
Chidebere.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a popular decision. I'll keep Kelvin. Unfortunately, I've forgotten his name. Is Benjamin. Yeah, I was after his argument. I was hoping that we don't have a battle that's as this that can just erode everything he did in his first battle. But unfortunately, this battle was close, epic, to say the least. So yes. Unfortunately, I thought Benjamin also had a good one, a good one, but
on the strength of the field tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's only fair that Kelvin stays because it could have been Kelvin winning and topping the group, So yeah.
So congratulations, Kelvin. Just to be clear, you have been kept in the battle to go into the playoffs, where there will be 6 individuals fighting for 4 spots. I can tell you the individuals you'll be going up against, and that will be on Friday. Amongst them, Molat from the first night. Amongst them, Augustine David. Amongst them, Molat from the first night, Femi, the pundit, the great pundit, from the second night of round 2. Amongst them, I think Augustine David was saved 2 nights ago, and he will be battling there. Amongst them, last night, Ifeanyi was knocked out, and in the end, Tochukwu was kept in the battle. Tochukwu is also there. and you join that hunt now. There's one
that list is strong.
that list, that very strong field.
Very strong.
Very strong field. And tomorrow, the last two battles of the second round are between Adenike and Daniel, and between Lima and Success.
Lord.
That will be a strong field. One person too will join that battle. But I can tell you one thing for a certainty. If you come in with the same fire with which you came in tonight, then it's going to be hard for you to not succeed on Friday. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I understand.
So well done. You have done the job as best you could tonight. We would leave it there. There's also one implication. We allowed Benjamin to go home earlier on because he's a family man and couldn't keep him here too long. But I'm afraid tonight his battle ends here.
Maybe I
You could be 4 debates away from 1 million naira.
Good day, honorable judges, or ever attentive audience.
That's the majority of co-debater.
We've crowned 3 I Beg to Differ debate champions.
My name is Tanvita Kaushik.
I'm Ruto Kocho. My name is Dawadesa.
And if you want to be the 4th,
In fact, it even gives you a new global perspective.
the quest
Since 1998,
begins
during the 2015 election.
now. The auditions for the next I Beg to Differ debate tournament are on. It's open to all secondary school students in Lagos, aged between 12 and 16. Just go to www.nigeriainfo.fm and click on I Beg to Differ and follow the instructions. Auditions close 3 p.m. July 12th, 2022.